The Olympic Games are about time. Moments of time that reflect what has happened, what is, and what can be. Like the closing moments of the opening ceremony when Australia's biggest television audience ever sat forward on their seats, held their breath, and waited. For 208 seconds, gold medalist Cathy Freeman, who had carried the final torch to its Sydney home, also waited. And 11,000 of the world's finest athletes looked towards the flame and waited for the games to begin. Australian style, we celebrated humanity.
What we've tried to do is, as a creative team, is generate a sense of pride in us as a people, in where we've come from, in where we are, and where we'd like to go to. The opening ceremony had over 4,500 performers in it. There were 3,500 musicians. We had 4,500 volunteers, 12,500 athletes. We did things on a huge scale, and then we did things where just one single person was a focal point. There's going to be all sorts of perceptions. Obviously people are going to have different points of view about the opening ceremony, about what they believe something was about. That's part of doing a live performance and a piece of theatre on that sort of scale. It's up for interpretation.
The last 16 days of the Games of the 27th Olympiad have had the most intense electronic media coverage of any single sporting event in history. Over 1,800 television cameras from the international community have been seeking every vital moment of triumph and emotion, waiting and watching for that single profound image that represents the human spirit in the field of play.
Turgat's been second to win for so long. What a race, what a moment. Hail the Golden Hockey Rose. The Emperor of Ethiopia draws up alongside him. Will he get him? He does. Oh, hold it steady. Winner, the ace from Kerry Potthast. What an upset. Jumping jive. It's time to fly. What a goal from Hughes. Magical, magical. The team's gold medal.
The Dutch are through to the gold medal.
What a performance.
And she's over. Oh, golly, what a competitor.
Jones clearly in front. Look at the margin. She's streeting them. But only finding Carter. Oh, my goodness.
35.013 is the best time so far.
Yep.
34.696.
Oh,
Look at that. Oh. The Australians have won it. The Australians will now battle for an Olympic medal.
O'Neill still in front. Susie O'Neill. I doubt they'll catch her.
How good was that? Oh, no.
It's a crunching hit. What pressure! The catch is dropped. The catch is dropped by Kosecki. The gold medal has been dropped.
The competition between nations in the Olympics always creates a group of athletes that naturally wear the suit of greatness. Gifted men and women who demand of themselves nothing less than achievement at the highest level. They are the ones that crowds automatically stand for. They are the front-page heroes that bring joy and exhilaration to a nation. In most cases, they enter the field of play a mere legend and leave it as an Olympic icon.
He's got it beaten. Thorpe is coming in. Gold and a world record. Ian Thorpe.
I've been taught what I do, and my parents have taught me to do things that are right, I hope. And, when it comes to competition, I think it should be no different. When I go in a race, I race to get the best out of myself. I'm always trying to get the best for myself and do the best job for my country as well. And when it comes to racing, I try and relax as much as I can and go out there and enjoy it. You have to enjoy everything that you do in life. And if you do enjoy it, you're going to get the best out of yourself.
Thorpe's in front. Thorpe and Hall. Thorpe goes in. Australia win.
And IOC ads that say celebrate humanity. And that's what the Olympics are. It's the opportunity for athletes and for people around the world to cheer on their sports people, competing in all different sports, competing for their countries. And I guess it's the one time when, all of those countries let their athletes do the talking. There's bias, towards some people, but everyone forgets all their differences, and we all compete as one. We compete as equals at the Olympic Games. And that's an opportunity that not too many people get in life.
Gold to Australia. Thorpe, Klim, Pearson, Kirby, put it in the record books.
That's what I'm going to take away from the Olympics, is the opportunity to share these special moments, to be able to share the experience and to be able to share the excitement of the Olympic Games. And it's a memory of, mateship, being able to share that with my mates in the Australian team and from, people from around the world as well.
O'Neill still in front. Susie O'Neill. I doubt they'll catch her. Morikova coming again. O'Neill's in front. On top, down under. Susie O'Neill goes into touch first. O'Neill.
I think it's just the discipline. It's been able to have a goal and focus on it and not stop focusing until you get it.
What a magnificent swim by Liesl Jones. 15 years old, Olympic silver medalist. What?
It teaches you self-respect, to respect yourself and what you do, and the rewards. I mean, there's quite a few things, but I think at the end of the day, you just got to look at it and think, wow, I'm just one disciplined person. I know what it takes to do something, and at the highest level too, which is pretty cool.
Brad Hackett headed for gold. Kieran Perkins will get the silver.
It is a fantastic journey. You don't take that journey alone. There's a lot of people around you who are there every day. Your coach, your family, all of these people that sacrifice as much as you do. And there's a great responsibility that does come with that. But sport has certainly made me the person that I am, and I'm glad I am the way I am.
He's unseated an icon as Brad Hackett.
That is a magic moment in Australian swimming.
It's very good, and I'm a very strong finisher, and I came through the finish. The Australian crowd was great. I mean, they showed us a lot of love. They came out and supported us in great numbers, in far more greater numbers than I've ever been in front of, ever before. So, I mean, it was lovely.
Others have their own lifetime. One of the most exhilarating aspects of watching an Olympic Games is not knowing what will happen in one moment and then the next. And when that moment delivers something extraordinary, the result is absolute joy.
And so with a second left, there's an exclusion. You hear the boos from the crowd.
she's done it! Yvette Higgins has put it into the top corner. Can you believe it? With 1.3 seconds left.
And she's done it. Lauren Burns from Melbourne, the 26-year-old, has won a gold medal for Australia, the first ever in Taekwondo. And you can see the delight on her face.
By 0.363 of a second, he just got ahead in that half a lap.
Garcia's away from Johnson, Trammell and Jackson. Garcia clearly in front. He's won well.
The European champion in front. He's going to hang on. Eurobati goes in and wins the gold medal for Italy.
He clapped 3 times before every race. He's going to be clapping forever now. It's Canada. What a brilliant performance. So the pressure of the situation getting to these teams.
Winner, the ace from Kerry Potthast. It is match point.
To beating.
Out court, they have won the gold medal.
1 gold, 2 silver, and 3 bronze. That's how Australia celebrated its most outstanding performance in Olympic track cycling history. It was the final time that coach Charlie Walsh would stand inside the track. It was a day of reckoning for Shane Kelly as he stepped from a long shadow cast from a tragic Atlanta to win bronze. And it was a tribute to mateship when Darren Hill stood aside to allow Gary Niwan to ride the Kieran and go on to win silver.
So far, the Australians have
But the most demanding event in this sport became one of the most inspirational stories in these Olympics. It was about 2 men, Brett Aitken and Scott McCrory, and a 60-kilometre roller coaster race called the Madison.
Fight hard, Scott McGorry, and he will. He'll come through.
Basically a game of chess on wheels, but you've got to be super fit.
Never before in Olympic Games have we seen this Madison. I must confess, I've never commentated on one before, but I'll tell you what, I'm getting used to it now, and the Australians have got used to it from the first sprint.
While we're out there, you know, you try to sort of intimidate people as much as possible, you know, just sort of look at them a bit and make it look like you're comfortable, doing everything comfortable.
Because the gap has gone out again now with 22 laps to go.
And 20 laps to go, I knew we were 10 points clear. Okay, I mean, all we had to do was get to the finish line. But last year, we never got to the finish line, and we were in a similar position.
He is absolutely flying, Brett Aitken. He knows the position of this race.
We're in a place where we could have won the World Championships. And 10 kilometres to go, I crashed. Unconscious, out 10 minutes, out of the race.
No, all they have to do is stay up on their bike and don't crash. That's the only thing.
In a race of 240 laps, riding a bike at an average speed of 60 kilometers an hour with a heart rate pounding at 180, the only thing to think about is survival. But with 10 laps to go and the gold medal in sight, Scott McCrory was taking another journey. 4 months earlier, Scott and his partner Donna had mourned the death of their infant son, Alexander. It had required courage of a different kind at one of the most crucial times of his life.
10 laps to go, you know, it was the time when I realised this is going to happen, you know, barring a crash. Ride intelligently, stay at the front for the last part of the race. And yeah, I started to think about things a little bit too much. And it started to really affect me. It's been the worst year of my life. You know, it started out as the best year, then it went to the worst year. And that's still not going to change. You know, what's happened now is an amazing thing, and I'm going to try and enjoy it for the rest of my life. But it'll still go down as one of the most difficult years I've ever had to come through.
There's the change. In goes Scott McCrory. Can he get up? It doesn't matter if he doesn't, because you're looking at the new Olympic champions here. Crossing the line in third place is Belgium, Austria, and there's the two-arm salute, a gold medal for Australia. Well, 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 what a superb performance.
They dictated the race. It was a wonderful occasion. But when you crossed the line, And don't forget, this is the first gold medal since 1984 when Charlie Walsh quintessentially started as a top guy in the business. But just think how two Aussies feel in Sydney on the last day of the track championships. The whole family on the trackside waiting to welcome them. You can't get a better finish to than that. It was wonderful.
Let's enjoy this moment, everybody.
We've had a tough year, both of us, and it was more than just winning and having the crowd cheering. You know, there was more to it. There was more emotion than that. It just made it an incredible feeling out there.
It's a terrific result. They're both so strong, both could chase hard, and also...
Yeah, I don't care if it never is as good as it was that night, because that's what makes that night just a magic moment. Because that'll be entrenched up here for the rest of my life.
Well, that's absolutely fabulous. They were such a great team.
There was a select group of athletes who competed here in Sydney. They brought with them their own style. They embraced the challenge of meeting each other in the field of play, and although they were all there for the same reason, each remained very different.
Into the outfield. Has he done it again? Yes, he has. And Australia have won.
Australia has won gold in the women's 470 class.
She shakes hands with circumstance and she don't wonder why. She dreams maybes that drive me crazy, that drive me crazy for so long, so long.
Images of flight. Images of gold, green, silver, and blonde.
She dreams maybe captivate me so long, so long.
Like the crowd was crazy on Monday night, and it's coming right into the circle, you know, and you're staying there in the beginning of run-up, and it's huge noise, and the emotions just goes over you. But the crowd was fantastic, so I just done all these 3 jumps, and I was trying my best in each of it.
She's going to cause some trouble.
And I think the strength that I've got and an energy just comes from grandstands, from, you know, people around me. The feeling is very special, I would say. You know, you just feel that you're free.
And Grigorieva's Olympic challenge comes to an end, but she can be oh so proud. She has vaulted magnificently.
To describe what we are seeing, we can only watch.
They're up to halfway. Horton running well. This is where Johnson puts it to them. Can Harrison challenge him? He's behind him on the bend. Johnson's running a big bend. He goes up and takes the lead from Horton. Harrison's 4 metres behind him. And then Perella. Johnson's clear. Harrison's running on strongly. They can't get to him. Johnson's clear. He's going to do what no man has ever done in Olympic history and win the 400 twice. Does it again.
Talk about a man who knew what he was doing from the moment the gun went off. He had that totally under control every step of the way. Look at him, a happy man.
When an Olympian makes the second journey to this sporting mecca, they come with new and different attitudes. if they have achieved at the highest level before, they now carry other pressures and expectations. They know it is a place for strong hearts where even world champions are tested. Some of those who succeed again and find their place on the Olympic dais are humbled by the experience. Others remember the reason of why their journey began.
It's gut-wrenching, the Olympic Games, and it was hard on me out there performing. The Olympics, when you're actually competing, it isn't a fun event. It's a tough event. The adulation and the glory if you're successful, whether it be getting a medal or just performing at your very best, that's great when it's over, but it's not a fun time when you're out there, and I'd defy anyone to say while they're competing flat out to try and win an Olympic medal, I'd defy them to say they're having a great time.
Mark Russell holding his lead, 167.
I think that it would mean more here in Sydney than anywhere else in the world to win gold. And I think it couldn't have been done without my dad and mum.
The crowd erupts. Now, this was for Dad. Yeah, really it was. And assuming he's up there listening to us, what do you say to him, mate?
Well, mate, Dad, I made it for you, eh?
Michael, an absolutely brilliant display, mate. An absolutely brilliant display.
And these words keep ringing back from my father's mouth, and that is that the key to shooting a clay target successfully, time after time after time, is that you must see the target. You cannot hit what you can't see. When you do see the target, you let it go, okay? Although the little man inside your head, because you're so nervous, he's saying, no, don't jump all over it right now. But you've got to actually fight that. And I had to go home to get some more clothes, and I walked past the cabinet, you know, where I've got my gold medal hanging up, and then all of a sudden I've got this thing where, you know, I'm going to have to find another spot for another gold medal right beside it. And, you know, for me that was just it's a spine-chilling thought. At the moment, like, you probably know that we share the room together, and I mean, it's just not like the first time that we've done that. Everywhere we go overseas, we're always roommates. When we're out there competing, you know, it is a very individual sport. We are individuals, but the competition stays out there as well.
To have a mate who's a world-class competitor, no matter what the sport is, if you can work with him, you'll no doubt raise the bar. If you can work together, you will both get better. Really, if you want to soar with eagles, you don't mix with turkeys. And I'd rather room with an eagle any time, because I think that's the sort of results you get.
Thanks, mate.
You're a little eagle, you are.
I think that the 2000 game, the games of the 27th Olympiad, have been chock-a-block full of dreams. And when you think of dreams, you think of characters, people who make those dreams come true. And I know, Roy, there's one name that's caught your imagination, hasn't there?
Yes, there is, HG, and you're right. This has been the Olympics of dreams, I think, and the Olympics the dreams are made of. And a great dream for us was to be able to call Kegs Rizlikov. Kegs was a big man, seemingly not terribly fit, but had the style. And I think that's what audiences, Australian audiences, went for. Just the style of the man, the way he'd swagger, the way he wore his clothes, his uniform, so proudly. I think one of the great characters in world sport.
The Olympics do require you to remember things that you've worked out in training, and here we see a man who's forgotten to remember one of the fundamental steps of weightlifting, Roy, and that is?
To put the bar down. Yeah. Most remember to go out, most remember to bend over and touch the bar, most remember to pick the bar up, and a lot, though, forget to put it down. We noticed this happened a number of times this year. I don't know what it is. I think it goes back to training, coaches. I always say it's easy to put it down and pick it up, but a lot of people don't see it that way.
At the Olympic Games, you see many amazing things, often out of competition, and here we have the human skipping rope. Roy, I don't know what you could do after this. Would you consider this a highlight of your life?
Well, it's great seeing, you know, that there's a room for everyone in the Olympics. Even a bloke with 432 bones and joints who can't enjoy a normal life walking around. He just collapses. But he's worked into the act rather nicely here, I think.
Roy, at the Olympics, of course, there are many great moments created by success. But often, it comes to a person who's unwilling to embrace with the rest of the team. And I believe we're able to see here a person who largely thinks that maybe he'd rather not be in the Olympics because he didn't really want a lot of blokes jumping on him.
I saw it, actually, you see a lot of selfishness on behalf of teammates. You know, if someone scores a goal, that's your moment. That's your moment in heaven, and that's the moment you want to share just with the fans, with the spectators and with the world. But, oh no, everyone else has got to jump on the bandwagon and take over. It's as if they all scored the goal. Well, they didn't.
Roy, the hammer throw, it's not as easy as it looks, is it? I mean, people think it's just spinning around and letting it go at the right time, but it's not. You've got to have the radar working, don't you?
Certainly do, actually. You know, in the old days, of course, the idea was to leave the hammer just in the middle of the circle and the person would go away, flying off. We've got it round just the wrong way, and you can see it causes technique problems.
In the 2000 Olympics, Australia had enormous success in yachting. You know, we just blew them away, basically.
470 class.
470 class, men's and women's. And here we see what's it's almost a collision zone out there, people not knowing really what they can do. But that can happen in yachting, can't it?
Oh, it can. You know, a lot of people say to me, yachting doesn't make interesting television, that it's dull. I mean, I think it's some of the most exciting television I've ever seen when you see a lot of people crammed on little boats just bashing into each other. I mean, I just think it's wonderful. And this show we're trying to get up, 4.5 hours a day of just yachts.
Every athlete came here to perform to their very best. Some came to achieve more and win. Others came to pursue excellence and achieve it. The Chinese gymnastics team protect the privacy of their training sessions. When a television camera goes behind the scenes with this group, it is a rare occurrence, but it provides the opportunity to appreciate dedication and discipline of the highest order.
The Chinese men's gymnastics team came to Australia with 4 successive World Championship team titles under their belt, never an Olympic team title, and an ultimatum: if they didn't win Olympic gold, they were all going to get sacked.
China taking the early lead up for the first apparatus.
Textbook high bar here. With a textbook finish. Fantastic. Double twisting, double layout. Beautifully done. Absolutely beautiful. These men are looking so confident.
You don't often see that sort of enthusiasm and encouragement being publicly displayed by a team from China, but they're showing it tonight. They've been in the shadows for so long, on the verge of coming out.
They're quite a serious team, but this time round they seem to be a lot more relaxed. They were really supporting each other. You could see them on the sides cheering each other on. And it was just wonderful to see that team camaraderie. They really wanted this team title badly. And they've got it. That is it for the Chinese team.
And finally, they will break through for their first gold medal. This great team from China, who'd been threatened with instant dismissal from the team should they not win a gold medal. They have broken through.
Two days before the opening ceremony, Michelle Timms realized that the future of women's basketball in Australia could dramatically change. She knew then that the Opals would beat the United States in the final to decide the gold medal.
Bishop Allen had to really arch that shot up.
The Opals as a team come into this event expecting to win gold or silver, and actually gold / the silver. I think we really think we can do it, and we see this as our greatest opportunity to do it with the Olympics in our own backyard.
Well, Boyd for 3. They're all firing them up there. Carla Boyd.
There's no team I'd much rather play for than, the Opals, and it's all in here. it's such a wonderful team to come together with each year we get together, or each week, or whenever we get an opportunity to come together, because there's an unusual closeness and a lot of love between the girls. And I know that sounds really American, but it is. It's something really special about this group of girls.
Jackson and Michelle Tim, what a pair.
It's really hard to describe. It's like we're all on the same plane. When we're playing fantastic together, it's like we're all just one brain, and we're all moving to the, to the music in our head that's making us execute an offense perfectly or play the great D.
Harrower to Timms for 3. Michelle Tim.
But Michelle also had to step up to her own personal reality. A serious knee injury meant she wasn't fit enough to play her natural game. In fact, she could only run the court for short periods every 48 hours. She lived with the frustration of bench warming, but never stopped believing that this Olympic team had a chance to be the best in the world.
She and Margot Didek.
Jenny Whittle from way down.
Personally, it's my last Olympics, so everything for me is tenfold more emotional than any other Olympics has ever been. Everything has such sentimental value to me, and I guess more desperation than it ever had.
The crowd has waited so long for this moment to see an Australian basketball team in an Olympic final.
At the moment, I'm very muddled emotionally. Like, if it happens, it happens. I'm not going to be writing a script for that last game, you know what I mean?
The celebrations go up. The entire US team, disappointment for the Opals.
Yeah, it's been great. It really has. It's been unbelievably special. Like, I finished my career in this way. I mean, it would have been nice to win a gold, but it was amazing playing with these girls, and I'll never forget this team. It's kind of hard to say goodbye, I must admit, to the national team, but yeah, I love this game.
She had so much on her shoulders and so much to think about, and she really focused in, and that word focus she uses so often, it is so true. I used to call it concentrate on, but she focused on it, and my byword came to pass. It really did.
There were two defining moments in these last 16 days. The first was when this nation proudly ignited the spirit of the flame to welcome the games of the 27th Olympiad. The other happened at 10 minutes past 8 last Monday evening. Both events embraced one unique Australian.
Well, she's already gone through one nerve-wracking experience at these Olympic Games at the opening ceremony.
You know what I really love about what I do? I just love racing. I love racing girls, and I love the little mind games I might try and play.
Be interesting to see how she runs it, whether she goes out hard.
I love the whole drama and the mystery of sport because I'm good at it.
Away, Freeman out well.
What you see is me, through and through. But, when I'm running and showing my emotions, it's me. Well, I'm almost wild. I'm wild. You can't sort of control me.
Graham's in front of her. Freeman's got work to do here.
You can't you can't try and tie me down. I'm too strong to, you can't contain me, sort of, if that's making any sense.
Graham leads. Freeman runs up to her. Mary inside. Kathy lifting. Goes up to Graham. Takes the lead. Looks a winner. Draws away from Graham and Mary. This is a famous victory. A magnificent performance. What a legend. What a champion.
No, it's just amazing because you get to see how happy you've made people feel. Anybody who knows me knows that I'm really, really quite low-key, and I'll always remain this shy little girl. It's really, really easy to people see that I haven't changed much.
Fate has been determined. She's an Olympic gold medalist. That lives with you forever.